Welcome, everybody. It's Wednesday night, and Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, Success with Mark live, and I am super excited to be here tonight. We got some cool things I'm going to share with you. Things that, boy, I'll tell you what, are really easy to do. So as you come on, do me a favor, say hello. What's happening, Leslie? Good to see you. Do me a favor, say hello. If you're watching the replay of this, do me a favor, put hashtag replay and let me know. And tonight we're going to share some good things. We're going to talk about 3 quick and easy ways to get leads on Facebook without paying for ads. And this is something simple that you can do every day. You can work it into your routine, and it definitely makes a difference. Hello. Good to have you guys on here. And so we're going to get started here in just a moment. We'll let our live get out there a little bit. And which, by the way, you want to make sure you head over to my blog. If you're not on my email list, make sure you head over there and join my email list. We do send out notifications each and every week for this. I do put out a new blog post. And for those of you that do not know yet, I have just started a podcast. So you want to make sure you head over to markharbert.com/podcast. And there's a bunch of different options over there for you to be able to get subscribed and check out the podcast. Lots of cool content coming. And we've already got 6 episodes up. There's a new episode coming tomorrow. And we'll continue to add to it every single week. So you'll want to make sure that you get in there and get subscribed. A lot of good stuff. And if you do me a favor, if you like the podcast at markharbert.com/podcast, if you subscribe to it on Apple, do me a favor, give me a review. Let me know what you think. I certainly would love to see that. All right. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. And if you have questions, we will do a Q&A at the end. So make sure that you post your questions. All right. All right. So let's dive in. We're going to talk about 3 quick and easy ways to get leads on Facebook without paid ads. All right. So one of the first things I want to talk about before you start doing anything on Facebook, in terms of, over the last couple weeks, we've been talking about Facebook ads, just Facebook in general. And one of the things that you want to do is, what I'm going to talk about is applied to a Facebook profile. Okay. So if you're building your business on your Facebook profile, this will certainly help you a lot. But one of the things you want to do is optimize your profile, okay? Now, before I get into the 3 tips, I want to start with this. Now, one of the ways to optimize your profile is to go in, make sure that you have filled it out completely, okay? And one of the things that you want to try to do is minimize the clutter, all right? Now, you want to fill it out completely, but you want to minimize clutter. Now, if you look at a Facebook profile, you have the ability when you're looking at the screen on the left to put all kinds of links in there and links to your social profiles and things like that, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You want to fill all that stuff out, but you want to be very strategic in what you put in there. The more stuff you put there, the more options you give people, the less, I guess, specific or the less action people are going to take. Because if they have too much and too many options, that can really be an issue. So I would suggest put maybe 1 or 2 social profiles on there, your main ones, and remove the rest. All right. Now, one of the other things that you want to do is you want to have a face in your picture on your profile. One of the things that for your profile picture, you want to have your face there. A lot of people tend to put pictures of certain things that, really don't pertain to who they are. They maybe have their cat there, or they have a celebrity in there or something. You always want to have your face very clear and something easy for people to see. I wouldn't even suggest in your Facebook profile that you put a picture of you and your family where there's 2 or 3 more people in the picture. For that one specific picture, it should be your face, a close-up, something very easily where people can see your face and know who you are. Now, the next thing is you have a header on your Facebook profile. That header should be something that really speaks to who you are. Now, for me, I have one of me speaking on stage at an event. Doesn't have to be you speaking on stage at an event. It could be you with some type of lifestyle pick. Maybe you're out, hiking in the woods somewhere. Maybe you're at the ocean or you're out on a boat or something like that. Put a really cool picture of that up there, which kind of personifies and shows, your lifestyle and something that really would be appealing to people. Now, this is where it's going to get really important, okay? The best way to optimize your profile is whatever you are promoting, okay? Whether it be like a lead magnet or your blog or a podcast like I am right now, one of the things that you want to do is you want to post that on your Facebook profile, and you want to pin that post to the top of your profile, okay? Because what's going to happen is, with the 3 tips I'm about to show you, people are going to visit your profile, okay? And when they do, you want to have the very first thing at the top, and you can pin that to the top and what's going to happen is, if you have something good there, something like a call to action, people will click it and they will go to wherever you're sending them. So it's very important that that top post is definitely something that is with your business. So if you're putting a capture page there or some type of lead magnet, you want that there so that people can go there. And it may not necessarily, it doesn't always have to be that, but you can put whatever you're putting there to promote that. So when people come, they end up clicking that and they visit what you're doing. Okay. So very, very important to make sure that you optimize your profile. I'm sure I'll do some more training on this at some other point, but it's really not that difficult. Just make sure it's not too cluttered. People can see, and there's some other options on your profile that you can do as opposed to the desktop and the mobile app. Okay. But make sure you pin that post. That's the most important. All right, so once you've done this, now let's dive into the 3 easy ways. So the first thing that you want to do when you're on Facebook is, number 1, understand that you must be sociable on Facebook. Now, I know that, it seems obvious, but there are a lot of people that go to Facebook who are not sociable. And what they do basically is they go to Facebook and they post a lot of things, but they don't really interact with other people's posts. And this is a huge mistake, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. Okay, if you want people to be sociable on your stuff, then you must be sociable on theirs. And here's why it's very, very important that you are liking, commenting, and sharing other people's posts. Because I will tell you that when I post a comment and somebody likes my comment that I have put on another post, I always tend to go over and see who it was that liked my post. Now, maybe you do this too, or liked my comment. So if I put a comment on a big influencer's page on Facebook and people start to like it, like if it's a profound comment, like it gets people talking or it engages people. When people go and like my stuff, what you're going to find is I will go over there and I will actually click on their name to go over to their profile to see who they are and what they represent. Now, I don't know about you, but I do this all the time. Okay, so what happens is, if I'm doing that, I know that other people are going to do that as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and like other people's posts or comments on an influencer's thing. I would even comment on it. So if somebody leaves a really cool comment and it makes sense and it's profound, you want to reply to that comment. And then what's going to happen is they will come by, maybe, like it, heart it, whatever, and they'll probably come over and check out your profile and potentially want to connect with you. Now, I have seen this many times where I've done this, and then what happens is people will come over to my profile, they'll follow me, and they will request a friendship. They'll send me a friend request. And this happens all the time. I see this on a constant basis. So if they come over to your profile and they look at, what you've got there, and they see that pinned post at the top of your news feed, they'll potentially click on that and then opt into something that you have or whatever training that you're offering, or whatever value that you're offering. So it's very important to be sociable and interact, like, comment, and share other people's things. Now, I know that when I put out something and I see that people have shared it, it tells me how many people have actually shared my post. I will go in there and I will see, I'll click it, and if Facebook shows me who it is that shared my post, I will like that post and I will potentially comment as well. So that is another way to get engagement and to get people over to your profile. I'm telling you, it works really, really well. Okay, so first and foremost, be sociable, and be a producer. Okay, now one of the big things that you want to understand when it comes to social media, and I just recently, literally in the last week, I heard somebody state this. As a matter of fact, it's in a book right now that I'm reading, and this book, let me get all the junk off my desk here that you can't see. Right here is Traffic Secrets by Russell Brunson, and I love this book. And one of the things that he says in there about social media is be a producer, not a consumer. And what that means is when people come to Facebook, they're consuming content. You want to be the one that produces content. So when you go to Facebook or you go to social media, in this case, Facebook specifically, make sure you're a producer. Go there with a purpose. Go there to comment on posts, like comments, comment on comments, reply to comments. Do all these things, and you'll find that people will visit your profile, and then if you have something pinned to the top, they will visit that and then opt in potentially to your offers. So it's a very, very easy thing to do. Everybody can do it. And if you're on Facebook already, which obviously you're probably here on Facebook watching this, or potentially YouTube, same thing, okay? So make sure you do that. All right, so number 2, so first one is be sociable, and number 2 is learning to ask questions. So one of the things that you can do is when you go to an influencer's post, okay, and I suggest following, the top 50 to 100 influencers that are in your niche specifically, and you want to follow each one of them, and you want to, pay attention to what they're posting. Now, once you do this, you want to be active on their posts, but when you go to reply to somebody, like let's say somebody leaves a cool comment, something you agree with, something you think is cool, and you reply to it, instead of just making a comment, ask them a question. Okay, so you ask them a question in order to elicit a response from them, and that will get some more engagement, and that even gives you the more potential that they'll come over to your profile to check out who you are and what you represent. And there you go, you're going to have that pinned post on the top of the page. Your overall profile looks like somebody they may want to connect with. So this is very simple to do. There's nothing about this that's hard. It's basically just the same stuff you do every day, but it's being a little more strategic about it, and working to drive traffic back to your profile, which will then get people to click on that pinned post on your page. All right, so very, very simple to do, but asking questions. Many people will go and they'll make a statement or they'll say something, but it doesn't really elicit a response. It might get a like. That's a cool thing. That's another cool thing. But what's even better is if you can get a good conversation going about something. And you do that by asking a question. So if somebody says, hey, I like this guitar, and then you comment and say, oh, I love that guitar too. What kind of strings do you use? I'm just using that as an example. But that's what you do. You kind of continue it on by asking more and more questions, okay? So be sociable, ask questions, and then the third one is you really don't ever, I want to make sure I point this out. Now, you don't want to spam links. And I know this is kind of, it's kind of like, well, how does this get me leads by not spamming links? Actually, it really does. So one of the things that a lot of people will do is they will spam links on posts. Okay, I put up, ads sometimes, and a lot of people will just post their link in the ad. You don't ever want to post a link on somebody else's post in the comment section unless you ask for permission to do so. So, for instance, if you get a conversation going with somebody in a reply and it leads around to a potential question, you could say, hey, you know what? So-and-so, this is a great question that you have, and I actually did a blog post about this. I actually did a blog post about this, and answered this exact question. If you want, I'll give you the link. Let me know. So what you're doing is you're getting permission. If that person says, yeah, I'd love to see the link, you can then post the link. Okay. So that's another way to drive traffic as well, is if you're posting content. So you don't want to do it unsolicited, but you want to try and be very, very, you want permission. And by getting permission from somebody to post the link, then you're going to go much further. Because what happens is a lot of times people will just post links and expect people to go to their page, and that's just not how it works. A very simple, is it okay if you want the link, let me know. Most people are going to respond and go, yes, send me the link. I'd love to see it. So, and you'll be surprised, the whole attitude shifts in regards to posting of a link. All right, so these are the three major things, but the bonus one is make sure you optimize your profile, get it looking sharp and good and working well. Next is make sure that you ask questions in your comments. So when you reply to somebody's comment, you want to make sure that you're asking questions, because questions elicit responses. That is the way that you get a conversation going, and more than likely that person will come over and visit your profile to see who you are. And then you want to make sure that before you post links that you get permission, especially in the comment section of someone else's post. These are very simple things that you can do to drive free organic traffic to your website or whatever it may be. But it starts with optimizing your profile. All right. I would highly suggest that you spend some time on your profile, clean it up, get it looking really good. And you don't want it to look spammy. I see some people that put a header on their Facebook profile, and it's got a whole bunch of wording and lettering and kind of spammy looking. It's not to say you can't do that, but you really want to try and avoid really looking overly spammy, okay? And keep it looking professional on your profile. All right, so what I want to do is we're going to open it up for questions here. So if you have some questions, go ahead and post them, and let's see if we can help you get some better results organically, because there is so much that you can do on Facebook to really do this. Now, of course, I'm not just saying you can do this in Facebook pages or whatever. You can also do this in groups. Every time I'm in a group, I look at people's profiles all the time. So for me, I know that if I do it, other people do it as well. And it's going to have a genuine impact on, whether people are going to visit your profiles or not. So go ahead. If you have questions, put them on there and go from there. So, all right. So good question by Leslie. And I think this is definitely important. For pinning a post on your profile, what do you do if you have multiple businesses you're promoting? So I would absolutely only choose one, and do not put them all up there. You can only pin one post. So what I would do is just choose one. You don't have to leave the same pinned post up there all the time. You can swap it out every week if you want. No doubt about it. But I would not give a whole bunch of choices where, people can click on one link and go to a page and there's 5 different things on there. Be very specific about what you post and, what you're going to drive people to. But the cool thing is that if you're going to put a link up there with like a capture page or something, make sure that you put some wording in there that drives people to, some type of a call to action. So be very specific on how you want to approach it. Okay. All right. So yes, John says, add value, add value, add value. Absolutely. That's what it's all about. One of the things that you can be doing as well is making sure that you're creating content. Okay. Sometimes I think that I'm a broken record here, but creating content is crucial. Doing Facebook Lives, doing YouTube videos, doing blog posts, doing other things. You can create audios. I've just started my podcast, markharbert.com/podcast. Go there. If you haven't, you can get subscribed to it. But there's many ways to create content and to get people to your websites. All right. But you just want to be very, very specific about it and put a plan in place and create content. Set a time every week to do a Facebook Live like we do here. Do impromptu Facebook Lives. Just, do them at a time where people don't expect it. It's another great way to, drive traffic and leads to your business. So it doesn't have to always be planned. You can do it on a whim and have fun with it. But Facebook is a great place to do this. But one of the things that you can really, really do is just think strategically. Pinning a post on the top of your page is one of the easiest things you can do to drive people to a place. But you also want to make sure that you've got a strong call to action there and that people understand it when they get there, okay? So any other questions, guys? If not, we'll end this one early, but make sure that you get over to markharbert.com/podcast. Check it out. I'm excited about it. Going to have a lot of exclusive content, and I've just had done so many interviews over the years of content that is just so great, and we'll be posting a whole bunch of that coming in the coming weeks. My plan is usually a couple episodes a week, so you want to make sure you check it out and listen on your way back and forth to work and stuff like that. So did you guys get value on this? Does this help you a little bit? Does this give you some things to try on Facebook? Just remember, it's all about being sociable. Connect with people genuinely. People will want to learn about you. Okay? I do it all the time. When somebody likes a comment, I go over and I visit their profile. I see who they are. So I'm checking out who they are and if there's somebody I want to connect with. I do that all the time. But if you got value from this, let me know. Share this video and get it out there. And if you know somebody that'll benefit from this, okay? So I appreciate you guys. Looks like we have no more no questions. So I'm going to go ahead and bug out tonight. But have fun. Share this, and we'll see you in next week's Facebook Live, okay? And I might even do a couple more during the week here. All right? Stay tuned, guys. Bye-bye.